Hey Virgo, we're here for your weekly tarot love reading, July 21st through to July 27th. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and for any of you lovely cross watchers dealing with a Virgo romantically. Now, please keep in mind, Virgo, it is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate, and you are, of course, welcome to take what works and leave the rest. And if you'd like to get a personal reading, I do offer those through Etsy, and the link is in the description box below the video. So we're going to jump right into it today, Virgo, and we're going to see what could be coming towards you this week when it comes to love. First message coming out for Virgo, we have got the Magician. This is interesting, and we're going to have to see where this goes because the Magician card to me can go one of two ways depending on what other energy comes through. So the first thing with the Magician card is that it can be a card of manifestation. So it could be about manifesting your dreams this week, Virgo, having something really good happen to you when it comes to love. That's one way we could look at it. Now, the other way is that the Magician, it can be a little bit of a tricky energy because a magician is a person who does tricks. So sometimes the Magician can represent the energy of somebody who is maybe not being honest, somebody who's not being forthcoming, somebody who is hiding things. It can be a bit of that deceptive energy. So we're going to have to see where this goes. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo this week. Okay. Four of Wands. I mean, that's a really beautiful card. The Four of Wands is the 11-11 card, and it tends to indicate marriage and commitment. So it could be that there is somebody this week who is definitely thinking ahead to the future, Virgo, and thinking about commitment. It could be somebody you're currently involved with, and if you're a single Virgo, it could represent the energy that you are really manifesting this week. It's like this week could be a really good time to attract in somebody who is definitely thinking about commitment instead of something casual, right? If that's what you want. Nothing wrong with casual if that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking for commitment, Four of Wands is a great indicator for that. Tell me more, please, about what could be coming toward Virgo, and then the Five of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. It's interesting, you guys. This definitely puts a different spin on it. So let's break it down. What is the Five of Pentacles? The Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling left out, excuse me, left out in the cold, okay? And I feel like I was just losing my voice a little bit there. And I got the message like maybe somebody lost their voice or didn't say something they were supposed to say. Anyway, this is a card of feeling disconnected, feeling abandoned by somebody. So now I'm a little bit worried, Virgo, if I'm being honest, when I look at this energy, that it's possible that there is somebody who has made you a lot of big promises. And the big promises are probably related to the Four of Wands, the marriage, the commitment, the future together. But then it's a problem to me that we have the Four of Wands followed by the Five of Pentacles because it's almost like they make you all of these promises and then they don't follow through. They make you these promises and then they kind of abandon those promises. And you're left wondering, like, what is going on? Like, one day you're telling me that I'm the love of your life, and now all of a sudden this week, it's like you are probably going to be feeling that they're disconnected. Maybe they're not as reachable. Maybe they're not as available. And it creates this really confusing space. So for those of you who are connecting with the energy this week, I do feel like you could be dealing with a potentially challenging romantic situation where it's like this person has made you believe that there's a future between the two of you. But then there's also a trickiness with the Magician. Like maybe they've made you promises and kind of, tricked you in a way, right? I don't mean that they're necessarily being malicious, but like maybe they meant well when they made those promises, but then they haven't followed through. And then the Five of Pentacles kind of suggests that they're like pulling back and you're probably experiencing this distance in the relationship and then ending up feeling very confused because you're like, on the one hand, you say you want to marry me. And then on the other, you completely go cold. What is happening? Okay. So that's what I see in the overall energy. Here's what we're going to do for the rest of the reading, Virgo. We're going to look at this person's energy this week and we're going to look at yours. We will look at their overall energy, what they could be feeling, what actions they could be taking. I will look at the same thing for you, Virgo, and then we'll look at the potential outcomes. So let's just kind of see where it goes. Tell me about this person's energy for this week. Judgment. Okay, Judgment can be a card of forgiveness and second chances. I wonder, I don't know, you guys, like, have they done something where they're going to be asking for forgiveness this week or asking for a second chance potentially? Let's see where it goes. Tell me more about their energy this week. Three of Pentacles. Okay. Working through the issues. I am getting the energy of somebody coming back around and groveling. Like, you know, I didn't mean to push you away. I didn't mean to go cold. I didn't mean to disconnect. Can you give me another chance? I'm really sorry. So I am getting the energy of an apology here. It's like maybe they go cold and push you away, but then they realize, like, why did I do that? Because I don't want to lose Virgo. Tell me more, please, about their energy this week. That's not good. Okay. You guys know, if you watch my channel, I don't like it when I get the Seven of Swords and the Magician showing up in the reading kind of together, you know? It's like the overall energy with the Magician already suggested to us, Virgo, that there was maybe something tricky going on with this person's energy. And then it's a real big problem for me. I got to be honest, you guys, it's a big problem for me to see the Judgment and the Three of Pentacles followed by the Seven of Swords. The message I'm getting, if I'm going to be frank, is that they're luring you into a false sense of security. Okay? Because these cards, I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to make amends for something. Maybe they're trying to say they're sorry. Maybe they're trying to fix something here. But then it's a huge issue that those two cards are followed by the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is literally what we call the thief of the tarot. And so I'm getting the word manipulative. Sorry, guys. Like, you know, they know what to say. They know what to do to kind of hook you back in. And then they do things to kind of mess around with the connection, but what can you trust here? I feel like there's probably a pattern with this person where, as we talked about, they make you big promises and then they don't follow through. And maybe, you know, you've done this before with them, right? Let's see what they could be feeling this week. I'm a little cautious about this energy, you guys. The Hierophant. Okay. Taurus energy. Maybe you're dealing with a Taurus. It's like, it's so weird to me because we are getting cards that indicate commitment. So in a really happy, positive reading, I would be happy to see the Hierophant. I would be happy to see the Four of Wands. But then the problem is you have to look at the fact that they're interspersed with challenging energy. The Magician, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. So it's like, okay, sure, maybe they're trying to commit, but they're not doing a very good job of it. Or they're not being honest about what they want. I don't know. Tell me more what they could be feeling. Okay. Trying to invest. I think you probably get like a bag of mixed energy from this person, and it's probably profoundly confusing to you, Virgo. I do think there are moments where their energy this week even could really be strongly coming towards you. And then also moments where you feel like they're hiding something and you're not sure what's going on and they've completely disconnected. I'm going to say for some of you, they could be hiding something financial with that Five of Pentacles. Take it or leave it if that fits. What else could this person be feeling this week? The Queen of Swords. Okay. They want to talk. They want to have a conversation. You could be dealing with an air sign, a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. But I'm also getting like, can you trust their words? That's what's popping into my mind. What actions could they be taking? Okay. Knight of Cups. So water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Knight of Cups is very romantic. It is that knight in shining armor kind of energy, but it's a very suspicious energy, I feel, in this reading. It does suggest that they're going to do something to really, I don't know, show off their romantic side and do something romantic for you this week. I do sometimes feel that the Knight of Cups can be a little bit of that love bombing energy. And when I say love bombing, you can look it up if you're not familiar with the term, Virgo, but essentially it's something where, you know, this person like showers you with over the top love and affection. And it creates like this, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm obviously not like an expert on explaining this, you guys, but it's like they do all these really overly romantic things to pull you in, but then they end up completely like, you know, shutting you out the next day, not being honest, lying. So it's like they do these romantic things to hook you, and then as soon as they've hooked you, it all kind of falls apart. I'd be cautious of that. What other actions could they be taking? Okay, Three of Swords. I'd be very careful. I'm just going to say this, Virgo, like what I'm seeing in the energy, the message for you for this week is like, be careful with this. What is the Three of Swords? It's the heartbreak card. It's somebody who leaves us heartbroken. It's somebody who breaks up with us. Do you see what I'm saying? Where I was like, look, they come in, they do all these super romantic things and make you think everything's fine, and then they break your heart. That's unfortunately what I'm seeing here, you guys. Oof. Okay, what other actions could they be taking? Five of Cups, letting you down and disappointing you. Yeah. I think my heart goes out to you, Virgo. Like, I'm just sitting in this energy and I'm like, oh, it just feels heavy and not good. I think, you know, there's probably a lot of moments of passion and excitement with this person, but I think it's tied up in a lot of uncertainty, an inability to really trust them, lies, disappointment. And so this week, I think, could feel honestly like a bit of a wild ride, Virgo, because on the one hand, there are definitely cards to suggest that your person's going to be trying to like love bomb you and do romantic things and like prove their commitment and ask for another chance and wanting to make amends. But then there's also a lot of really problematic cards, you guys. Five of Pentacles, leaving you out in the cold. Five of Cups, disappointing you. Seven of Swords, lying to you. The Magician, tricking you. Three of Swords, breaking your heart, right? It's a weird balance of like all this good energy and all this really, really, really challenging energy. And that has probably characterized the dynamic with your relationship. This is probably one of those relationships with high highs and low lows. And it almost feels like you're stuck in this pattern, and that pattern is continuing to play out this week. Okay, let's look at you. Tell me about Virgo's energy. All right, Six of Wands. I mean, that's a card of victory and success. I don't know, maybe that's you hoping that everything will work out. Tell me more about Virgo's energy. The Page of Wands. Okay, Page of Wands is a fun, flirty energy. Interesting. What else? Three of Cups. Okay. I don't know, you guys. Like, I'm getting a kind of weird message of somebody flirting to make someone else jealous. Like, I don't know. Like, this to me could be a bit of an unhealthy dynamic between the two of you. So maybe you're feeling frustrated with them at one point this week, and then you kind of flirt with someone else or somebody else catches your attention. Like, it's kind of weird. It's like, on the one hand, I think you're attracted to this person, but on the other, I think we're seeing a lot of toxicity. And I feel like the Three of Cups, I'm like, is there like a third party situation here? Is there someone flirting with you this week? Are you flirting with someone this week? Like, is there some sort of third party interference in this connection? It's interesting. Let's see what Virgo could be feeling, please. King of Swords. I mean, your person had the Queen of Swords. You have the King of Swords. Maybe you guys are going to try to have a conversation this week. It's definitely possible with those cards, you guys. The thing I will say, though, the King and the Queen of Swords speak the truth, right? They don't dance around the issues. They get to the heart of the issue and they have a conversation. So if you are going to have a conversation with this person this week, I think it has to be brutally honest, where both of you have to be clear and say the hard things. Like the King and the Queen of Swords, sometimes they say things that feel a little bit harsh and blunt, not to be mean, but to just be very clear and direct. Let's see what else you could be feeling. The Moon. Yeah. So King of Swords and then the Moon. What this is almost suggesting to me is that you're going to try to talk about your feelings and have a conversation with your person and get clarity, but then you're going to be left feeling like there's still a lot that you don't know. Like, to me, the Moon is saying that you're still going to feel like there's a lot that's unclear. You're still going to feel like you're in the fog. You're still going to feel like you're not getting the answers that you need from this person. So it's this really tough thing where it's like you're trying to communicate, you're trying to get clarity, but yet you're still feeling like you're being left in the dark. It feels like you're asking this person questions this week, Virgo, and not getting satisfactory answers. What else could Virgo be feeling this week, please? Queen of Pentacles. That's your energy. I mean, I think you're trying to bring a sense of stability into this connection. I'm going to be honest with you, Virgo. Like, I think you're trying to make it work with this person. You're kind of hoping that it could get to this place, this very stable energy. We didn't really see that in your person's energy, but I think that's what you're hoping for. What actions could Virgo be taking this week? The Knight of Swords. Okay. So the Knight of Swords is a card of charging forward. It's a card with a lot of energy and momentum. It definitely suggests to me that you want to try to find a way to move forward with this person. I will say though, Virgo, and this, I'm just going to put that out there for you to reflect on. Sometimes the Knight of Swords acts without really thinking things through. And I wonder if there might be a little bit of a tendency for you this week, Virgo, to maybe make decisions or take action before fully thinking through what it is that you want. So just watch out for that, because this is a tricky situation. Your person's energy was very messy, Virgo, right? I see that there is a strong connection. I see that there have obviously been good moments between the two of you. I feel like you're holding on to hope that things can move forward, but I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying, but don't be impulsive. Like, you know, really think through what you want before taking any actions. What other actions could Virgo be taking? Queen of Wands, okay? There's a fair amount of fire energy showing up for you. To me, Virgo, this is saying that you're very attracted to this person. I gotta be honest, you guys, when I get a dynamic like this, it's interesting because these kind of dynamics I find do tend to have a lot of chemistry. And that makes it hard to walk away because the chemistry almost becomes that glue that holds the relationship together. So you're like, okay, yeah, there's all this other shit going on with the Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups. Like there's all these problems, but we've got really insane chemistry and that feels really good. So it's kind of like that chemistry is almost what keeps you holding on and maybe not looking at the other potential challenges within the connection. Tell me more about what actions you could be taking. Okay, hopefully this is a good indicator with the Hanged Man that you're gonna slow things down. It kind of fits with what I said a moment ago where I'm like, maybe don't make any impulsive or rash decisions this month, Virgo, okay? Slow down. The Hanged Man is a card of taking a pause, not taking quick action, looking at a situation from different perspectives. I almost feel like the tarot is giving you some advice here for this week, Virgo, where it's like, look, you're in a bit of a messy situation with this person. Before taking any action or making quick decisions, really take a moment to pause and look at the situation from all angles and different perspectives, just so that you have a good sense of what you're dealing with, okay? Before deciding what you want to do here. So I'm very curious here to see what the potential outcome is within this situation. Let's take a look at that, Virgo. Seven of Pentacles. That's a card of being patient. Tell me more about what the potential outcome is. Page of Swords, talking, communicating. Tell me more. Justice card. Yeah, okay. So the outcome here, Virgo. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is, like I said, patient. So maybe there's part of you that's like, I just need to be more patient and see how things go. Page of Swords is about communicating, but I gotta be honest, it's more of a surface level communication. It's kind of what I was saying earlier where I'm like, look, if you guys are gonna talk, then actually get to the heart of the issue, because there's not really a point to talk, but to beat around the bush and not talk about what's happening. Page of Swords to me is kind of suggesting that you guys will talk this week, but it's going to be surface level, kind of like keeping the peace type of energy. The Justice card can indicate that an injustice has been done, right? Like I said, you could be getting an apology. Like, I do feel the Justice card is your person apologizing this week, but I don't know, you guys, I feel a little weird with the Justice and the Page of Swords because the words I'm getting are like a hollow apology. You know, someone who says they're sorry, but like they don't really understand what they're sorry for, right? So that's what I see. My sense is that you guys are going to try to work on it. What I see though is a potential pattern that's repeating itself with this person. I can't ignore the fact that there was some pretty challenging stuff showing up for your person, Virgo. But I also, when I looked at your energy, I do see you holding on to this connection, right? It's almost got like an addictive quality maybe to it, right? At the end of the day, you do what feels right for you. I think the tarot for this week is really encouraging you to look at the reality of what you're dealing with this person. And it doesn't feel like you want to give up on them. So if you're wanting to work for this relationship, what I see is that things are going to have to change, maybe in a big way, okay? So is it impossible for you guys to stay together? No, it's not impossible, but I don't know that it's going to work if things stay the same way that they are right now with all that secretive energy and your person not being honest and surface level conversations. Like, if you guys really want to give it a fair shot, I feel like this reading potentially highlights a bunch of things that you would need to address in order to move forward. But I think this could potentially be a very emotionally intense week where, I gotta say, it feels like this is a pattern. I don't feel this is the first time you guys have gone through this. If you're connecting with it, it's like, here's the roller coaster ride. And yeah, I think this week, maybe it's giving you an opportunity to slow things down and to really look at what's going on and to maybe really ask yourself, Virgo, like, what do I need? What do I need in a relationship? And then start to ask yourself if this situation is meeting your needs. And if not, you might start asking yourself, well, can we change things between the two of us? Or if you don't feel that's possible, maybe you start looking elsewhere. Like, these are things that I think are going to start kind of rattling around in your brain this week. I don't see you like walking away from them. Although I do have to say they have the Three of Swords. Like, it is also possible, Virgo, that they do something this week to like break things off with you. Like, you might not want to break it off with them, but that Three of Swords kind of leaves things up in the air, right? I will say though, if they do something to like break it off or break up with you, I think they'll be back. Like, it's that kind of energy. It's just that kind of like toxic back and forth energy. So I think this week is maybe almost really highlighting that dynamic so that you can really take a look at it and then ask yourself what you want to do with that moving forward. So that's what I see for you guys this week. If this reading resonated, please do me a solid, give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. If you'd like to get a personal reading, I offer those through Etsy. The link is in the description box below the video. And of course, I wish you love and happiness, Virgo, and we'll talk again very, very soon. Bye, guys.